Today, we explore how this date completely reshaped our world across five powerful dimensions: culture, education, finance, politics, and technology. This day proves that history never rests. Let's dive into the fascinating interconnected events of this date that continue to influence how we live, think, and innovate today. So, without much further ado, let's go.
Um, Imagine an alien civilization intercepts the Pioneer 10 space probe, and the only record of human history they have is a single calendar date, June 13th.
Oh,
Like, what would they think of us?
yeah, it's a wild thought experiment.
Right. Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're actually curating this specifically for you, Yogi Uncle, so you can share it with your grandson Alex in Germany, your grandnieces Gia, Tara, and Sarah over in Canada, and really the rest of your family worldwide.
It is such a great way to connect.
It is. Okay, let's unpack this. Because how can one random square on the calendar hold so many massive paradigm shifts?
Well, it's because this specific date, it almost acts as a magnifying glass on the human drive to push boundaries. I mean, when you pull the historical threads of June 13th, you don't just see a timeline.
Right, it's more like a theme.
Exactly. You see the actual mechanics of how we evolved from, say, crossing terrestrial deserts to navigating the stars.
So let's start with that drive to explore. Because on June 13, 1325, a young scholar named Ibn Battuta left Tangiers for Mecca, which kicked off this massive 24-year journey.
A staggering undertaking for the 14th century.
Right. And then jumped to June 13th, 1983. NASA's Pioneer 10 spacecraft becomes the first man-made object to cross Neptune's orbit and literally leave the central solar system.
And heading out into the complete unknown.
But wait, are a religious pilgrimage on a camel and a NASA space probe actually driven by the same impulse? Because, I mean, one feels deeply spiritual and the other is just cold, hard science.
What's fascinating here is that the underlying mechanism is the same.
Really?
Yeah, both require society to invest massive resources into piercing the edge of the known world. The spiritual drive to understand our place in the universe, it directly evolved into the scientific drive to measure it.
So it's the exact same ambition, just separated by, what, 658 years of technological scaling.
You nailed it.
And speaking of technological scaling, we have to look at everyday movement. Like on June 13th, 1903, the Ford Motor Company was formed. And get this, it was just 9 investors and $28,000 in cash.
Which is basically nothing in today's terms.
Right. That is like launching the modern internet with pocket change and a laptop in a garage.
It really is. And the real impact wasn't just mass-producing steel and rubber. Ford democratized distance.
Oh, I like that phrasing.
Yeah. I mean, before that, your world was strictly limited to where a train went or where a horse could walk.
Or just where you yourself could walk.
Exactly. By making cars accessible, Ford fundamentally changed the human relationship with geography entirely.
Which completely rewired culture.
Yeah.
Because suddenly people are driving just for the fun of it,
The birth of the road trip.
Yes. You get the Great American Road Trip, which directly creates these roadside culinary milestones. Like on June 13th, 1929, Detroit's first White Castle opened on East Jefferson.
Oh, wow. Slinging their famous belly bombers, right?
Sewing of the belly bombers, exactly.
But physical mobility naturally creates social mobility. And as people rank more freely, it forced a massive friction point.
How so?
Well, how does a state police a highly mobile, rapidly modernizing society?
Oh, here's where it gets really interesting. Because that desire to push boundaries eventually turns inward, right against our own governments.
It does.
Let's look at the legal milestones. June 13th, 1966. The Supreme Court hands down its 5-4 ruling in Miranda v. Arizona.
A hugely consequential decision.
And then exactly 5 years later, June 13th, 1971, the New York Times begins publishing the Pentagon Papers, which exposed 3 decades of growing U.S. involvement in Vietnam.
Right, and if we look at the mechanics of why those matter, regardless of where you fall on the political spectrum, they both radically flip the power dynamic.
Between the individual and the state, you mean?
Precisely.
Hmm.
Before 1966, the burden was largely on the citizen to just know their Fifth Amendment rights. Miranda shifted that burden to the government.
So the state had to actively educate you on your rights before interrogating you.
Exactly. Just like the Pentagon Papers shifted the expectation of institutional transparency. It wasn't just assumed the government kept everything secret anymore.
Which sets up this incredible historical contradiction about who actually controls the narrative. Because on June 13th, 1949, George Orwell released 1984.
A very grim blueprint.
Yeah, warning us about governments erasing history and controlling truth.
Yeah.
It's all about mass control and political duplicity.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, you have Orwell warning about the erasure of history and then the Pentagon Papers showing a government actively trying to hide things.
Right.
But then you have the ultimate counter-movement, the public fighting to preserve their history.
Oh, like the Indigenous People Festival happening at Seattle Center for Stall on June 13th, 2026.
Yes, exactly. Celebrating Pacific Northwest Native tribes.
They aren't just preserving history in a dusty museum somewhere.
No, not at all. They're actively resisting the cultural erasure Orwell warned about, and they're doing it by living their history out loud through traditional music and dance.
I love that. So what does this all mean? Yogi Uncle, when you look at your family spread across Germany, Canada, and really the whole world, you are living the modern legacy of June 13th.
You really are.
You have the global mobility born from Ford and the exploratory spirit of Ibn Battuta, which allows your family to preserve your own cultural roots across all those borders.
It's a beautiful way to look at it, and it raises an important question to leave everyone with.
What's that?
Well, if Pioneer 10 is out there carrying our history into the cosmos, and an alien civilization's only evidence of humanity was what happened on June 13th.
They'd see a species that explores, builds, rebels, and remembers.
Exactly. So what kind of future would they predict for us?
Hi viewers, family and friends. How did you like the content of this video? Like the video and subscribe to the channel. Please write in the comments your name and the place you are watching from. Since our viewing family is spread all over the world, it will be nice to know which city and the country you are watching from, so I can say hello to you. Science and technology. Reading and listening to the historical accomplishments on this date of those who have gone before us, I, as a professional engineer with interest in structural engineering, energy-efficient buildings, ICF construction, and as Google Docs expert with interest in spreadsheet-based solutions, draw inspiration to ask of myself the million-dollar question. What would I accomplish today? Think about the Japanese practice of Kaizen. Let me know in the comments, what would you accomplish today? Your subscribing to the channel inspires me to post more such videos. Thanks for your patronage. See you in the next video. Sincerely, Yogi Anand.